Hello, good morning students. This is B. Ishwaraya, Assistant Professor of Commerce. As we are learning financial accounting, so this is the fifth lecture on ledger. So let us know what is ledger. So advantages of ledger, relationship between ledger and a journal, format of ledger, so how it is to be used. The format which can be used account in this ledger, all those things in this particular lecture. Okay. So ledger is a principal book of account. Ledger is a book which contains various accounts such as assets account, liabilities account, capital accounts, revenue accounts, expenses accounts, etc. It contains all the accounts of the enterprise, whether real, nominal or personal, to which the transaction recorded in the books of original entry is transferred. It is a summarized, classified, permanent record of financial transactions in the form of accounts. Therefore, it is also called the book of final entry. It may be noted that an account is a format, an account is a formal record of transactions related to a particular item. A ledger may be kept in the form of bound books, loose leaf sheets, floppy diskettes or CDs or any other mechanical devices, etc. So that it is a very important book in the point of view of recording accounts. So in earlier lecture we learned journal in which we have written entries. To that, for that entries we have to open separate accounts for every individual account. So all those accounts will be written in this book, so that it is having very important in the accounting system. Advantages of ledger. Advantages of ledger are: one is it provides information about all the accounts in one book. We will be having total accounts was what we have written in the journal entries. So those accounts are written in this ledger. Second advantage is it is easy to ascertain that how much money business owes to his creditors and amount it has to recover from its debtors from personal accounts. Whenever we would like to know the how much amount we are owing to others and how much is to be received from others, so that can be known only from these accounts only. And third advantage is it enables to ascertain the kind and value of assets from real accounts. Real accounts are assets. All those real accounts will be giving information about the value of assets, through these accounts. So next advantage is it enables to ascertain the sources of income and the amount spent on various items as heads of expenses from nominal accounts. So this is also very important advantage we are having from this ledger. And the last advantage is it facilitates the preparation of financial statements. Merely with the writing of entries in the journal is not enough to prepare final accounts. So as an accountant, as a owner, so ultimate aim is to preparation of financial statements, from which we will get whether we earn profit or incurred loss, and on that particular date how much assets and liabilities we are having is to be known. So for this purpose, so ledger is a very important book. As we are preparing accounts in this particular book, so when we sum up these accounts, we prepare financial statements, so that it is very important one. Next, when it comes to relationship between journal and ledger, so already we have learned in the last class about journal. Now we know the definition and advantages of a journal later on. So how the ledger is contains various accounts will be known. Now let us learn the relationship between journal and ledger. So both journal and ledger are the important books under dual entry system of bookkeeping. They are different yet closely related to each other. The journal is a book of prime entry or original entry. The transactions are first recorded in the journal, then they are posted to the ledger. Thus, ledger serves as a book of second entry or final entry. The journal is the starting point, while ledger is the destination point. Second relationship is between journal and ledger. Journal records transactions on the basis of source documents, while the ledger records transactions on the basis of journal. Thus, journal serves as an input for the transactions posted in the ledger. Without having journal, we may not post in the ledger accounts. So these two books are having close relation. In the same way, journal records transactions in a chronological manner. Whenever the transaction is taken place, so those transactions will be written in a chronological order, while the ledger records transactions in a classified and analytical manner. All the transactions relating to a particular account will be written in one particular place, that is an account, in an account. Dates may be vary. One transaction may be taken place in the month of January, another transaction might have been taken place in the month of June. So these January and June will be seen in the account of that particular account. So like that. Next, the process by which transactions are recorded in the journal is termed as journalizing, while the process of recording transactions in the ledger is termed as posting. Next relationship is journal becomes the basis for ledger, which serves as the basis for preparation of final statements. So these are the relationship between journal and ledger. In the same manner, these two books are having some differences. Though they are having some similarities, they are also having some differences. Those differences are see, when it comes to nature of book, journal, it is a book of original or prime entry book. When it comes to ledger, it is a book of final entry, where the recording of transaction closed. So manner of recording, Manner of recording: in the journal, the transactions are recorded in chronological manner in order of occurrence. So, in a day, whenever transactions taking place, all those transactions will be recorded date wise or time wise in that particular journal. In the same way, when it comes to ledger contains a number of separate accounts in a classified form. That means debtors account, creditors account, assets account, assets are also cash account, bank account, furniture account, and so on, so on. The transactions are posted from journal to ledger irrespective of their dates of occurrence. Objective of in the differences, objective of recording in journal and ledger is it is prepared to record all the transactions in a chronological manner. It won't differentiate. Journal doesn't differentiate anything. It records all the transactions occurred in a particular organization. So, when it comes to in the ledger, it is prepared to know the net effect of various transactions on a particular account. So, through this, you will be knowing how much amount on a particular date we are having in that account. Balancing is one more difference we are having in these two books. Journal is not balanced. In the journal, we will be writing entries only. It cannot be balanced at all. But when it comes to ledger, it is necessary and mandatory to all the ledger accounts are balanced in the ledger. Every account has to be balanced at the end of the maybe in a particular time, or else at the end of the year when we are going to prepare financial statements. Next, debit and credit aspects. Regarding journal, debit and credit aspects of a transaction are entered in the journal in their respective columns. In the ledger, entries are posted in the concerned accounts with only one aspect, either debit or credit. See, in the ledger accounts, it may be debited, it may be credited, but we won't debit and credit at a time in one account. Basis of preparation of final accounts. In the journal does not serve as a basis for preparation of final accounts. With the book of journal, we cannot prepare financial statements. So, if you want to prepare financial statements, ledgers is a very, very, very important book. So that ledger serves as the basis for preparation of final accounts or financial statements. So these are the some differences both these books are having. So format of a ledger account. See, as I explained, so ledger is a book which contains accounts. But account is a specific one. It is having specified format like this. Definitely, it should have been prepared in a T-shape manner. T-shape in the sense English alphabet T-shape manner. it will be divided into two parts. Left side part is called debit side, right side part is called credit side. Every division or every part will be having four columns. See, date column, particulars column, journal folio column, amount column. On other side also, that means credit side also should have four columns: date column, particulars column, general folio column, amount column. Whenever anybody asked you to say about how many columns a journal is having, so you have to say it will be having 5 columns. But when it comes to account will be having 4 columns only. 4 columns only. But one side 4 columns, another side 4 columns, but we have to say 4 columns. So definitely it should be prepared in this manner. For denoting the debit side, we have to write DR on the left side top of the account. In the same way, on the right side top of the account should be written CR. DR and CR. DR indicates that this is debit side. CR indicates that this is credit side. Credit side. See, this is a format of account. In this, we have to write the date on which transaction is taken place and entered in the journal entry. So that date has to be written. In this particulars column, the source of the transaction is indicated by specifying the name of the account included in the journal. The word TO2 is prefixed to the debit side entries and the word by is used before the credit side entries. Credit side entries like this. When it comes to journal folio, JF, journal folio column, the page number of journal from which the entry has been transferred is to be written. Generally, while learning, we won't write anything in this column, but we should have known what exactly has to be written in this column. This column is very important when you are going to serve in an organization practically. So next, amount column. So the amount mentioned in the journal for a particular account is written. Say for example, purchased goods. So purchases account has to be prepared. Say for example, this one is purchases account. As per the entry, purchases account has been debited, so that this in this account to cash amount is something. If we purchased goods on credit, you have to write the creditor name to X account 10,000 like this. Like this we have to write here. If you sell goods, if any sales taken place, then account should be sales account. As per the entry, we have to credit the sales account. Then here in this credit side, by X account or A account to whom we have sold goods on credit, or else if we sold goods on cash, so we have to write by cash account for so and so and so on amount. So this is the format of account. Format of account. Next, posting. So this is what I am explained. So posting is the process of transferring the transactions recorded in the books of original entry to the concerned accounts in the ledger. It is necessary to ensure that the exact names of accounts used in the journal should be carried to the ledger. Posting may be done at any time. However, it is better to post the transaction without delay. It may be done daily, weekly, fortnightly or monthly according to the requirements of the business enterprises. As I explained earlier, procedure of account posting should have these rules. As a preliminary step, the various accounts in the ledger is opened for various items with respective account titles. For example, rent account, building account, drawings account and the like. Other steps which are recorded to be taken for posting is explained below as like this. May be given, whether it is having or not, we will see. Oh, right. See, rules or procedures of posting for an account which has been debited in a transaction. The date of the transaction is entered on the debit side in the date column. Debit side in the date column. In this column. The account which has been debited in the journal should also be debited in the ledger. In this. However, a reference is made of account which has been credited in the journal. For example, for rent paid, the rent account should be debited in the ledger, but reference should be given of the cash account which has been credited in the journal. The name of the account credited in the journal is written in the particulars column on the debit side prefixed by 2. Prefixed by 2. Next rule is the page number of the journal is written in the folio column on the debit side and in the journal. The page number of the ledger on which a particular account appears is written in the ledger folio column in the journal. The relevant amount is written on the debit side in the amounts column. So, in the same way we have to write on credit side also, but we have to use words to and by. When you are writing on debit side, you have to use prefix as to. When you are posting on credit side, you have to use this by as prefix to that account. So, this is mandatory. Next one is balancing of this account is compulsory, without which we cannot be able to prepare final accounts, trial balance or final accounts. So, if you want to know the financial position of a concern, we should have balance all these accounts containing in a ledger. So, how do we balance an account? Balancing is the process of equalizing the two sides of the account by which net balance of the account after considering the total of both debits and credits of an account is ascertained. The debit and credit refers to the debit amount column and credit amount column respectively of an account. Sometimes the amount on the debit and credit side will be equal to each other. Then there will be no balance. When the total of debit side is greater than the total of credit side, it indicates debit balance, while the credit balance shows the total of credit side and being greater than the total of debit side. If the sum of debits equal the sum of credits, it is a closed account and the account is said to have no balance. The balance is put on the side of the account which is smaller by giving a reference of balance using carried forward to the extent period. On the other hand, the balance is brought forward and brought down from the previous period while opening an account in the next period. See, on debit side we have entries like this. On debit side, $100, $200. On credit side amount we are having only 100. Then these accounts are to be balanced. See, first of all we have to add the side in which total amount is more. Here it is debit side we are having 300. Then these 300 has to be written in this total column as it is 300. From this 300 we have to deduct this 100, will get 200. So this is the balance. By balance carried down, by balance carried down. If total amount on credit side is more than that of debit side, see, then we have to do like this. See, for example, see, here it is 3,100, it becomes 400. On debit side we have seen only 300. So the amount greater on which side, this total amount has to be written in this total column. From this 400 we have to deduct this 300, you will get 100. So this is to balance carried down, So this particular account is showing that it is having closing balance 100. This is a credit balance. So this balance has to be carry forwarded to the next month or next period. So like this we have to prepare the we have to prepare the ledger accounts, and we have to balance these accounts. See, let us see one small example. Journalize the following transactions, post them in the ledger and balance in the accounts on 31st March of so and so year. We are having so many transactions. March 1st, Mohan started business with a capital of rupees 95,000. On 2nd, goods purchased from Ram on credit 27,000. On 3rd, bought machinery for rupees 20,000. On 5th, sold goods to Shyam for cash 29,000. On 7th, cash paid to Ram rupees 15,000. On 8th, returned goods to Ram worth of rupees 500. On 10th, sold goods to Vishal on credit of rupees 18,000. On 11th, bought furniture for rupees 12,500. On 15th, cash sales are made worth of rupees 8,500. See, for these transactions, first of all we have to write entries. See, if you observe these entries, first entry, cash account debtor to capital account, being amount is brought into the business for starting, amount is 95,000. So on the 2nd March we have purchased goods on credit, so that entry is purchases account debtor to Ram account, being goods purchased on credit worth of rupees 27,000. On March 3, we have purchased machinery. For this, entry is machinery account debtor to cash account. Narration is being machinery purchased for cash worth of rupees 20,000. So which has to be written on debit side 20,000 and also credit side 20,000. On March 5th, goods sold for cash to Shyam, cash account debtor to sales account 29,000 on debit side, 29,000 on credit side. Being goods sold to Shyam for cash. On March 7th, cash paid to Ram account has been debited, cash account has been credited, amount has been written like this. On March 8th, being goods, we have purchased some goods from Ram, goods returned to Ram, so that Ram account debtor to purchase returns account worth of rupees 500. Narration is being goods returned to Ram. As we are returning goods, so we have to write like this. Next one is on March 10th, on credit we sold some goods to a person called Vishal. So Vishal account has been debited, sales account has been credited. So worth of amount is 18,000. Being goods sold to Vishal on credit. See, on 11th, furniture has been purchased for cash, so that furniture account debtor to cash account worth of rupees 12,500 written on debit side and also on credit side. Narration is being furniture purchased for cash, as we are purchasing furniture and paid cash. On 15th, some cash sales are made, so that cash account debtor to sales account, being sales made on cash 8,500 rupees on debit side, 8,500 rupees on credit side. See, these are the entries which are to be written in the journal. As per these entries, now we have to post them in a ledger account. So, to post in a ledger, what we have to do is, we have to check these journal. As many separate accounts are needed for posting them in a ledger. See, cash account, it has been repeated twice and thrice, and see, cash account, and also on third again cash account has been there, on fifth cash account is there, on seventh cash account is credited, and on 11th we observe that cash account is credited, on 15th cash account is debited. So that cash account has to be prepared. Though so many times we are writing entries for cash, so we have to prepare only one particular account for cash. Next one, capital account. So capital account has to be prepared. Purchases account, this is a particular account. Purchases account, specific one. Next, Ram is a person. On Ram we have to prepare one Ram account, machinery account, sales account. Next, purchase returns account, Vishal account, furniture account, sales return. Oh, this is not required. So up to this, see, these many accounts are to be prepared. These many accounts are to be prepared like this. See, cash account is there, capital account is there, Ram account is there, purchases account is there, sales account is there, and so on and so on. All the accounts are there. So as per the entry, see, first entry, if you understand entry and posting of one, definitely you will be able to post all the entries in the ledger accounts. So be careful. So cash account debtor to capital account, we need two accounts. One is cash account and another one is capital account. As we have debited, cash account is debited. So in the cash account, on debit side, in the date column, March 1st. So why the cash account is debited? Capital has been received, so that to capital account, amount is 95,000. Right. When the one account is debited, immediately we have to credit in another concerned account. Here the cash account is debited with the name of capital. In the capital account, on credit side, March 1st, by cash 95,000. So this is called double entry system of recording. So next entry is purchases account debtor to Ram account. So we need purchases account. See, in the purchases account, debit side March 2nd in the particulars column to Ram account 27,000. In the Ram account on credit side, March 2nd by purchases account 27,000. So then the posting of entry will be closed. Posting of entry will be closed. Next, see the third entry, machinery account debtor to cash account. Machinery account debtor to cash account. So now we have to post in two accounts. One is in machinery account, another one is cash account. So we need, already we are having cash account. So we need only machinery account. We need only machinery account. We need only machinery account. So here is the machinery account. In this machinery account, on debit side, March 3 to cash account 20,000. To cash account 20,000. Machinery account has been debited. Now we have to credit in the cash account. See, March 3 by machinery account 20,000. Machinery account 20,000. See, like this, every entry has to be debited in one concerned account, and also with the same amount we have to credited in another concerned account. So this is the posting of entries. Now let us learn balancing of account as I explained earlier. See, take one account. Here the cash account is there. On debit side we have four amounts: 95,000, 29,000, 8,500, 10,000. On credit side we have 20,000, 15,000, 12,500, 11,200. Now what we have to do is see whether the total amount on which side is more than that of other side. Observe it. On debit side we are having 1,42,500. 1,42,500. The same 1,42,500 has to be written in the other side, that is credit side of cash account in the total column. So these total amounts should be same. From this 1,42,500 we have to deduct this four totals: 20,000, 15,000, 12,500, 11,200. Then you will get the balance 83,800. 83,800. This has to be written like this: by balance carried down. By balance carried down. That means 83,800 rupees is more than that of credit side in debit side. So that this balance has to be brought forwarded for the next period, that is April 1st. So as on 31st March we have balanced the account. So this balance amount has to be brought forwarded to April 1st and write in the total column 83,800. So this is the balancing of an account. In the same way, see another account, capital account. Capital account. So here we are having only one amount, that is 95,000 on credit side. So this 95,000 has to be written in the total column. Same amount has to be written in the total column of debit side. To deduct from this debit, there is nothing. So that this 95,000 is balance carried down. Balance carried down. So it says that capital account is having credit balance of 95,000. This cash account says that debit balance of 83,800. Like this, we have to balance all the accounts seen in posted in the ledger accounts. All these accounts are to be balanced. All these accounts to be balanced. So this is how to post in a ledger account and balance accounts. Okay, right. We will meet in another class with another topic.